Hello, welcome back to Eclectic Alu. Today I'm answering an email that I received and somebody wanted me to talk about the paradoxical communication style of narcissists. And this is in Spanish that I researched this because in the European, maybe French also, literature, they talk more about perversion, okay? Perverse Narcissist, let's say. And they have a PN, Perverse Narcissist. Perversion in Latin, it's pervertare. And that means invert, change, convert. In psychology, perversion means the incapacity to consider other people as alter ego. I mean, another person, okay? As another person, as a subject. Narcissistic people consider others as objects. Then the word is very important because that constructs, builds, is life. And then there's the word that brings death, which is destructuring and destroying. Schadenfreude means enjoying other people's misfortunes, and so this is exactly what they get through this type of paradoxical communication. People are notably very distraught, confused, and this is why I insist with this word, confusion. Please be on red alert when somebody confuses you, has a pattern of confusing you, and so that's a red flag. Okay, double bind theory. In order for this to happen, we need two things. One, a relationship that my life depends on it. It has to be a relationship where I feel I need it in order to survive in a way. It could be psychologically or physically. This happens a lot in children growing up in a situation where the parent is perverse narcissist. Children feel trapped. There's no way out. They need that parent to survive. It could be in a workplace also, where you feel you need to have this relationship in order to survive, because otherwise, if you lose this job, for example, you lose money and then you won't be able to eat. So then, same thing. And then it could be in a relationship, in a romantic relationship as well. So that component, and then the type of communication that is paradoxical. Paradoxical communication happens when there's contradiction in the same statement. So one person may say, I love you just a little bit. In fact, there's a song that was very problematic, because I think in many countries it was forbidden. That is, the title of the song, I think it's a French song. It's called I Love You, Me Neither. That would be the translation. Like, I love you, me neither. That is like destructuring. The word is so important because it can give you life. We talk about life, word that gives you life, and word that gives you death, in psychoanalysis. And so the word that gives you life, which is a healthy parent, for example, talking to a kid or a friend or somebody that is healthy, will tell you things that are structuring, that help you structure your personality, your show, which is the self. Okay, translation, download it. So the self is structured when you talk to somebody that is healthy. Okay, because it makes sense, it's coherent, it usually is supportive, it's building something, so you are allowed to separate yourself from that person, from the situation, and situate yourself in reality. Whereas when the word is death, it's confusing, it's not clear, it's contradictory, which is the case in the paradoxical communication. Okay, within the paradoxical communication, there's the paradoxical order. For example, an order, like a command, okay? So the paradoxical order or command would be, for example, you should be more spontaneous. Okay. You should love me more. Okay, that doesn't sit right. Right? The moment you start being spontaneous, you're not, because you have been given that order to be spontaneous. Love comes from within, it's natural, flowing, and it comes because it's here. You cannot force love, so you should love me. You see the paradox? That's the easy stuff. Okay, hold on. Then one more is, I love you just a little bit. Or like I said, the song that said, I love you, not so much. Me neither. No, not so much. No. It's like, I love you, me neither. So those are logical fallacies, right? Like it's impossible. And that's its contradiction within the same sentence. Another thing that they do is misattributions, making the wrong connections between things that are wrong. Another one is the double intent, or entendre, which is words with two different interpretations, and so they use that word and it's open to different interpretations. One more thing that they do is lying in a text. For example, they lie or half lies. And then circumstantial lying because they create circumstances in order to make you feel as if you are guilty of that circumstance, whereas in reality they created that. And then they make this connection, which is a misattribution, and then they confuse you. They end up confusing you with the paradox. So double binds include paradox. This type of communication is crazy making. The paradox, the contradiction in the message, is what makes people crazy. And also the point is not the content of the message. The point of the communication is that controlling you, making you doubt the structure of the person that is at the receiving end of this type of communication is destroyed and diminished, invalidated. The person loses contact with reality because reality doesn't make sense, and so they are frozen. This freezes you. This stops any reasoning. And so what do you do with this? The only thing you can do when you come across a manipulative, perverse narcissist is to run, don't engage. And so when people have kids in common and all that, the good thing is to put somebody that is neutral to communicate with the narcissist, because they are not susceptible to the hidden messages that are in the text, in the message, that people that don't have this part of the double bind theory. Remember, one of the components is to have a relationship that is tight. So that component is not there. Use lawyers or people that are neutral to communicate, where they won't be affected by this type of communication because there's nothing between them. So, and they will go to the facts, and then the perverse narcissist won't have the opportunity to manipulate through that. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you found this interesting, and I'm always looking forward to reading your comments, and I will see you next week. Bye bye. Thank you so much for watching.